Hi, everybody. Uh, Sorry for being tardy today with Live at Lunch. It is entirely my fault. Have you ever had one of those days where you just sort of felt like everything was off and you kept missing things, or you thought, what time is it? And then it was the wrong time? That is me today. And I don't know why. I do have my coffee, but for some reason today I went downstairs, finished. I think it was because everything was goofed up with the yoga. And so I was downstairs watching yoga to make sure that it didn't freeze again. And so when that was over, I came up to get Leah set up, and then I just boop, forgot to go downstairs and do Cranford. So here is my request from everybody is that if there is a TV show that's more than 5 minutes late, it's okay to call. I know that sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm being fussy or I'm being this or that, but I think it was 20 minutes before we realized that Cranford wasn't on, and it was totally my fault. And I was working really hard on getting the previews together for Live at Lunch, and it didn't even occur to me that I was missing our English TV because obviously I'm not all here today. Um, so if something's about 5 minutes late, feel free to give us a buzz and say, "Hey, what's going on? Is Missy in charge again today? What's what's wrong?" So again, my apologies to everybody who was waiting for Cranford, and again, my apologies to everybody else who was waiting for the Sunday Live at Lunch when we do all of the previews. So if everybody at the building is upset, I'm the only one to blame. So I apologize for that. But with that being said, let's move on and we will talk about this week's calendar. There's a lot on it. I'm excited about this week's calendar, and I'll tell you why right now. So I have previews for a lot of our things that we're going to be watching, but there's a bunch of things that don't have previews. So I definitely want to point those out to you. The One Day University on Monday and Thursday, both of them seem really, really interesting. Excited about those. All of our workout classes are the same this week. No changes there, so I'm not going to go through all of it. I do want to remind you that the Watermark University Bereavement Workshop is meeting for the second time. This is a perfect time for you to join. So if you were not able to join last time, or you were confused, or you forgot that it was happening, feel free to join this time. The Reverend or Dr. Reverend Murray Flagg would love to have you join. And remember, that is just for Canyon members. So you won't have people who you don't recognize. Let's see. So moving on to Tuesday, we have some exciting things where the UA neuropsychology department, I recorded something last week with Dr. Matt Grilly, and where he explains a little more about the program, because there's many people who were not here when we launched it last year. And then, of course, we've had our 6-month break because of COVID, but we're going to try to bring it back. And so it's a refresher about what that program is. And so I invite everybody to tune in at 10 a.m. on Tuesday to learn more about that. And then at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, we have another opportunity for you to tune in and learn about ride-sharing apps. So this is something that Patrick is going to be telling you about, and I helped him with that as well. And so we're going to have, you're going to be learning about Lyft, about Uber, about some of those other options. And then there will be we're calling it a lab for the people who attend that workshop. You have to attend and watch so that we know that you're learning something about it, and then you're welcome to come down for a free lab that will be announced at that time. So we are definitely wanting you to be able to be more free if you would like to be. We don't want you to be so dependent on us for transportation, especially as things are getting busier and we might not be available. We want to make sure that you have the power. So it's very easy to use Lyft and Uber. I use them often, especially when I'm traveling so they're a great program. We're going to teach you how to do it. Tuesday, 1 o'clock. Again, Marvelous Miss Maisel, we're binging TV. This is episodes 3 and 4. Let's see. Our Wednesday morning is the Einstein, the Big Bang, the expansion of the universes. So it's nice sometimes when we're stressed in small ways to think about big things. So that's what we're going to do. Pilates is the same. Our Watermark University Wednesday series continues. Well, now we're to 28 up. Believe it or not, this is our 4th week following those people in England. So it's getting a lot more interesting. And then our new release this week is the one and only Ivan. And this is the first time that I've taken a recommendation from my child. So I read this book with her. It's geared toward students, the book, but it's a wonderful book. I would highly recommend it. It's written in the first person account of a gorilla who is in like a mall zoo. Fascinating stuff. And so this film came out, and I think it was supposed to be released in theaters, but it's released on streaming, and so we're going to be watching that. And she said it was very good. So I wasn't with her when she saw it. And then let's see the other thing I want to. Oh, and then on Thursday we have our first Watermark University class with a member teaching it, and this one is called Making Mandalas. There were 8 slots, and they are full for Ann Jones's class, but I bet you if we sweet talk her, we can see if we can have her do another one for us. But if you signed up for that class, we will be distributing materials to you. We'll be checking out some materials to you. We do need those materials back so that we can teach the class again. And then on Friday is where the big change is. So originally I had, as a member recommendation, we had 5 easy pieces on here, but I have had in the past 3 days, I think I've had 4 different people request to watch either RBG, the documentary about Ruth Bader Ginsburg that came out 2 years ago, and I think it was nominated for an Oscar. I don't know if it won or not. And then On the Basis of Sex, which is the dramatized version of some of those early court cases where she was arguing for equal rights. And so I've had multiple requests for both of those films. So we are going to push 5 easy pieces to next week, and we are going to do a double feature with On the Basis of Sex and RBG on Friday. So if you are wanting to catch up on your Ruth Bader Ginsburg as we honor her, you can do that on Friday. And then on Saturday, we had our first Tai Chi yesterday. We've got our second Tai Chi in the series on Saturday. And then we've got our movies and our Broadway that will be happening. So the other thing that I want to mention that I found out last week, and I didn't realize that it happened until I went through and was looking at receipts, is that last Saturday night, we were supposed to watch the musical From Here to Eternity, which was a new Tim Rice musical, but accidentally the film From Here to Eternity was put on. So I haven't heard anybody tell me about it. So I don't know that anybody was upset that that didn't happen or wants it to be rescheduled. But if you feel strongly one way or the other, if you'd like me to reschedule that musical to watch it, or if you don't care at all and you really enjoyed the movie, that's fine as well. But please let me know your feedback. I'd be happy to reschedule that for you. And again, apologies if you were tuning in. We are fallible humans. The other news is that I am attempting, knock wood, to put out a Thrive newsletter for October that would have the programming in it, the traditional way that we used to do before COVID hit. So knowing that sometimes things change and maybe there's a flyer or some additional thing, but this would be the time. If I was thinking it would be really fun in October for us to do maybe a classic monster movies, if you've got a classic monster movie that you would enjoy, or a different member matinee. I'd like us to move back from doing the weekly calendar and go back to our traditional way. So if you have some recommendations for programming you'd like to see in October or even November, please get that to me this week. All right. And on that note, have a great day. I'll see you later.